It's the AY Show.
Alright guys, it's the AY Show, and of course we are here again. Today we are going to go, sorry for starting up late, we ought to have started at 6, and what I'm going to say at this point in time is sorry for starting up late. Today someone is going to be joining us, someone special, running for the number one man in Lagos State, talking about Abdul Aziz Olajide Adidiran, popularly known as Jandor. Yeah, Jandor will be joining us shortly, and in this capacity as the chairman Lagos for Lagos Movement, and of course as an entrepreneur and somebody that is known around Lagos. But before we kick off, we usually have people who come online, but we're having difficulties to find our live go straight up on Instagram. But the good thing is that we're on Twitter right now, we're on Facebook, and we're on YouTube. So we're still waiting for Instagram to connect. But nevertheless, what we're going to do is to feed every conversation that we're going to be having here to Instagram after this timeout, until we rectify that part. Okay, it's the AY Show. A lot of people, you've been asking questions. AY, the last time you did the presidential Q&A, you had Peter Obi come on board. You had Sowore come on board. And for that reason, some of you thought this program cannot be tagged as non-partisan, but it is what it is. The reason you have them come on board is because they were the ones who actually, made that decision to come and speak to Nigerians. And by extension, I remember I said to you people that whoever convinced me as an individual is going to get my vote. And that was what happened with Peter Obi. So likewise, the same platform we're sharing right now for Lagos State race. And of course, whoever convinces me also at this point in time will get my vote. And of course, I will encourage my followers to do likewise. We have quite a lot of people online already. Christian Inarago saying, great job. Thank you, Christian. And from Casablanca, I know they vote also, but then let's acknowledge the fact that you people are very cautious and curious to know what is happening back home. So watching from Edo State is Adu Winner. Adu Winner, welcome to the AY Show. Great job, says Pixel. Pixel, thank you very much for joining us. It was AY, you not go fall. Thank you very much, Chronicle. I appreciate that. And very impressive, says Innocent Ebuka. I don't know where you're joining us from. Thank you very much. Bola Tito Osumbade, nice one. Thank you. She's joining us from Facebook. Olakunle Bright, nice one, boss. Thank you. Okay, we can go on, and your comments, your questions are welcome. And Jandor, I believe, is very much ready to do justice. Let's go on this very short comedy break. I'll be right back, and of course, we'll be having Jandor come on board.
It's the AY Show.
In case you're meeting me for the first time, my name is Acapella. I speak the truth. I fear nobody. After all, Nigeria, like say, would die alive, for run die. I'm very angry with Jesus. Very, very angry. The Bible describes Jesus as all-knowing. That means he knows the end from the beginning. So you are saying, this problem we are going to in this country, Jesus will not say it go up. He quiet. Ma assume, say forget. Then on Friday, yeah, you just die, and you have to die with only 2 thieves. This already has to rock. Who go kill them? How can you die if you need list of thieves? You know go ask us. 2 thieves will show me. Say they don't even thief up to 12.5. You just waste thief.
It's the AY Show.
There is only one comedy show that can invade the entire nation.
Let me hear you say, Every time I enter club, men go they look me, they smile. Hey, Abdul, please give me
We don't turn you number to abnormal. Make some noise.
What's your name? Look well.
One comedy show that parade the movers and shakers of the entertainment industry.
Can't do it, never say one time. Come on, look at how we made this. Everybody go. Samba. Let's go.
No be by force to go Dubai. I've been able to cut the fight.
Right now,
Girl, I love the way you do me, do me, do me, do me, do me, do me.
One of the boys that we are one share, different shows, not me, kill a bad one share, huh? Do I look like I will look
One comedy show that satisfies the entertainment yearning of Nigerians.
And it's your turn in.
oh my! Aziz Nation! Who just sell it, but not the seller credit?
I was only taking a back.
E-money, how much? 1 million!
Only one comedy show that entertains even the entertained.
Bring your 2 face over here. I will show you that I didn't need to hit you to give you a black face.
Oh! Yes! Me! Yes! You will turn me to a black face without a hit.
KY Life, Legendary Edition, on Easter Sunday, April 9th.
For table reservations, call 0704-921-5448.
KY Life, Legendary Edition, on Easter Sunday, April 9th.
Packaged by Lanre Maku Events.
In the year 2016, when 10 friends decided to go on a retreat in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, little did they know that a great movement was about to evolve.
For so many years, I was busy understanding the structure how it's being played, what has been the problem of those that have come before us, why did they fail?
At that retreat, Dr. Abdul Aziz Adediran Jandor announced his intention to contest as governor of Lagos in 2023.
I announced to them my intention and the fact that we're starting like now. And they were like, who campaigns for a governorship election 8 years to that time? And I said, that is how we're going to go about it, because we're disrupting the narrative.
With this announcement, the Jandor Foundation came to life. Jandor Foundation is a non-governmental organization solely funded by Dr. Abdulaziz Adediran. This foundation targeted empowerment of men, women, and children at the grassroots.
Most of the things that we were doing were not politically related. We were just alleviating poverty, empowering people, giving scholarships, and speaking to the things that ordinary citizens want from government. What we did was to visit local governments. So when we visit Lagos Central today, for instance, the next week we would go to Lagos West, and the other week we would go to Lagos East.
3 years down the line, the Jandor Foundation had metamorphosed into Team Jandor, but with the same operational structure, with the sole aim of empowering and liberating Lagosians. This time, however, they took it started by Governor Michael Otedola in 1992, but has been abandoned by successive administration. On this trip, Jandor also visited neglected communities like Oriba Village and its a community with no electricity for the past 16 years. It is a 19-kilometer drive to Oriba, very thick forest, dark waters and terrible roads. This is not a part of Lagos you can ever imagine. 20 villages cut off from development. After this interaction, Jandor takes a tour around Oriba community. This is the only primary healthcare in Oriba, which was built in 1982. No nurse, no doctor, not even a single medical equipment. All road leads to the riverine community near Arakpagi in Ward F. We took her from Bogije Jersey. Were received by excited people of Arakpagi community who again for the very first time can see a governorship candidate come all the way to know the state of the community and the people. This Jandor, whose action in the face of intimidation by the paid scouts, expressed his unwavering bravery, got down from his car and went into the community. The Jandor Funke campaign train arrived to Rulere local government on Thursday, 26th of January. On this tour, Jandor also paid out with a message of the breath of fresh air. It is evidence with the reception and conviction we take away from each ward that indeed Lagos is ready.
Vote Dr. Abdulaziz Adediran Jandor as Governor of Lagos State. PDP! Power to the people! It's the AY Show.
All right, that was a brief profile on the flag bearer for PDP Lagos State, Abdulaziz Adediran. Okay, popularly known as Jandor. I know he prefers to be called Jandor. We're going to be bringing him on now so that we can have a chit chat. Guys, I believe you have your questions ready and you're willing to do the needful. Lagos State is very, very important. So a whole lot of us put together, especially people who are doing business in Lagos, people who are born here. Lagos is a destination for everybody. So the number one man needs to come up with that major significance that's going to reflect on all aspects of life. So let's welcome Jandor to the AY Show. Hello. Hello. Can I hear you? Let's. Okay, I think there's a bit of technical issues going on with his camera, the audio. Let's see. Hello, Jandor, can you hear us? Watching from Cafe. Okay. Hello, Jandor. Okay. I think we're going to quickly go on a break. I mean, before Jandor comes back to join us, let's see if it's a technical issue. It will be fixed in no time. Talk about CBN directives and the monetary policy. Everyone is affected at the moment, and we have this situation taking a toll on all walks of life, businesses and what have you. I don't know what your stories are, but then this has nothing to do with Jandor at the moment. But we're just going to quickly go on a break and see if that audio has been fixed, and we'll be right back.
It's the AY Show.
I just can't complain. When I see the picture, now Dubai. They are police. They share snacks, give people. Once you are in traffic for 6 minutes, they'll share snacks to give you. I just come back from Dubai yesterday. Christmas Day, they share gift. Police. Once you are in traffic for 6 to 7 minutes, Oga, go ram if I did lie. Sam, see their police cars. Sam, this is not police car. You see police car? And this car, check them. See the, no, can't go back. See the number, 999. Correspond with 999. See what they write. You see this thing? Fanshin Sanfun. Me say, police love you. Gogora. Dubai. See their interior. Police. Car. If you go see the police to be police go hungry you. See police. Police. See on the right hand. Police. 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 Nigeria. See on a police. My brother, police are wonderful people. Our God that we serve, we bless police. Area commander, you people are doing a great job. And God will continue to give you strength to do more.
It's the AY Show.
Jandor, sorry for that break. Can you hear me now? I think there's still I still can hear you, but I believe you can hear me. I want to believe that you can hear me, of course. Yeah, but I can hear you. The people can hear you, and that's what's important. So I think the best thing to do is to log out and log in again, same link. I think that would be the best thing to do. Just log out and log in again while we discuss with some other people concerning this. We're going to throw the link in there for people who are going to be asking questions. I want to believe, Elvis, you throw in the link so that we can have this conversation with Lagosians too. And yes, great job. You try. Thank you. We're still trying to get Jandor to speak with us. Very, very important. Of course, yeah, the link, then you come in again. Let's see what's going to happen. And of course, it's the AY show. We can't cease to give you entertainment. We'll go for another entertainment break while we'll face this very, very important technical issues and come back to you. Thank you.
It's the AY show.
I'd like to make some noise. But let me tell you, isn't it the best time right now to be a Nigerian? Look at what our boys are doing. Though our ladies have disappointed us, but look at what our boys are doing. Whiskey sold out O2 3 days in a row. Burna Boy, Madison Square Garden. Even what's his name? CK. I mean, what's why? I mean, why? KC. CY. What's my baby, my Valentine? If you leave him, I go die. Sing the song. And I'm so. I want to. No lie. No lie. #1 song last year in the whole world. The one that blew my mind. A Nigerian sang about a European car, and they went to Nigeria to endorse. They gave him a car, Maserati. Maserati went from Middle East to Nigeria to give a Nigerian that sang about their song because he made so much traffic on YouTube. Do you understand? They gave him a Maserati. And you know that's the thing about Nigerians. We profess things into life. Because before the guy even had the car, he said, "Come right in my..." He said it before he even had the car. Even the American that sang, "I woke up in the new Bugatti." Bugatti did not answer him. Because the way he sang about the car, he said he woke up. He didn't say, "I bought a new Bugatti." He did not say he bought it. He said he woke up. It could be hangover. It could be that he stole the car. But the Nigerian said, "Come hop in my Maserati." And Maserati said, "We are going to give you that Maserati." That's how good it is to be in Nigeria. And let me tell you something. I remember when I just got here, when Americans hear my accent, they were like, "Oh, you have an accent. Where are you from?" And before I left Nigeria, my impression was that once I come here, we all blend. Everybody that is black. But once you open your mouth, they're like, "Oh, you have an accent. Where are you from?" So I decided that I will answer them correctly. Once you just open your mouth, "Oh, you have an accent. Where are you from?" I claim my city. I'm from LA. Shut up, fool. Yo, I say from LA. You from somewhere on the island?
It's the AY show.
Okay, so we're gonna be joining Abdul Aziz Olajide Adediran one more time, aka Jandor. Jandor, can you hear me this time?
I can hear you. I need you to confirm you can hear me.
You are up live and direct. I was going to start screaming village people.
That is the handiwork of my political distractors. I know them. I know where they are. Don't worry. They will hear where tonight.
Okay, welcome on board. We've got quite a lot of people online willing to talk to you. A lot of people are very, very much interested. What are your plans? How did you get into mainstream politics? It's very, very important to start off from there. How did you get into mainstream politics?
Okay, well, thank you very much. First, let me appreciate you for being one of self-built success story of Lagos. I use that word because majority of us had to pick it up ourselves and get to where we are today. That speaks volume of our tenacity and level of our resilience. So I want to congratulate you and appreciate you. Because your industry, if we speak of Lagos today, Lagos success story today, we speak of your industry, okay, despite the fact that with little or no support at all from the government of the state, but we've been able to break all barriers and get to where you are today. And that's also part of my story, how I got to where I am today. And speaking to your question, if you want to solve any problem, you really need to understand the nitty-gritty and have a critical analysis of what this problem is all about before you can proffer solutions. Asking me how I got into mainstream politics, I think it has to do with a vision. And if you have that vision, first there must be some wrongs you want to right. Okay, and the state of Lagos is a very peculiar state politically, and that is because it's a state where you have an individual pronounced to over 20 million people who have chosen XYZ as your governor, and everybody jump up and jubilate, and so be it. And for some of us, we believe this has been hindering the level of development in that state of Lagos because there is this monopoly. If we don't break this monopoly, Lagos will not live to its full potentials. So in the year 2011, as a matter of fact, 2010, 2011 was when I conceived this. And that was because of what I saw in that corridor. And I feel this shouldn't be, this can't continue. But because I understand the level of principalities, that are in that corridor, I know it is not something that you have to come and do. That's 7 months, 9 months to election that everybody jump out to say they want to be governor. No, it has to take a strategic and long-term planning to be able to first sit down to understand what has been the problem. How has people, failed? You will see a sitting governor and somebody will back at him. We will run back into his shell with all the powers of that office. So that is speaking to something. And I feel that a state like Lagos, a metropolitan state like Lagos, can't continue with that. So we must disrupt this narrative. So I took my time to understudy, that structure politically, governance, and everything. And when it was time for us to move, I called my team. You've shown it in the documentary you played recently. I called them to Abuja and I said, guys, you know what? We have a project, and that project, we can liken it to wanting to go and rob the Central Bank of Nigeria. Everybody was like, what are you talking about? We're not literally saying we're going to rob the Central Bank. You understand what it is. If you want to take something from lion's mouth, you must also be a daredevil yourself and prepare, for that. So I told my team, I said, this is what I want to do. But we're going to start now. And they asked me, who campaigns for governorship 8 years to that time? And I said, this is not your regular governorship and all of that. So we need to first look at that place where that decision is being taken. We will first need to commit that unpardonable sin. That unpardonable sin within the APC is that you must not wake up and sleep and say you get vision and you want to be governor of Lagos State. The moment you have aspiration, one man has marked you to you can't be. So we'd rather go for somebody who never prepared to be in office, who never envisioned to govern, and put that person there so that person will be eternally at his mercy. Whatever he wants, he would have to require a second level approval before he can do anything in Lagos. That's a problem. So if I identify that problem, what do I need to do? We need to disrupt this narrative. We need to find a way to right this wrong because we can't continue like that as a people. Okay, if my parents have fallen into that trap, so what am I doing to ensure my children don't also fall into that trap? And doing nothing changes nothing. So we started this in 2016. I called my team and I said, you know what, this is what we want to do. And we're going to start now. And we started within the ruling party. But for one purpose, we know that it will amount to death penalty for the owner of the structure, the owner of the party, who is also the owner of the state, if you check my hand, okay, to say he's giving us that ticket because we are too independent for him to give that ticket and say, how dare you envision to govern or prepare or to say you can be. And we say, he won't give us, but we will make sure we implode that place before taking it, achieving whatever we're going to achieve, not here. So we started the Lagos for Lagos movement within the APC. At a point in Lagos, we were the only opposing voice, and we're in the APC. So it's usually APC versus Lagos for Lagos, and we are also of the APC at that time. But we had our own plan to say, you know what Jandor did was to rally around all the aggrieved parties within the party. I'm sure you understand what that means. And aggrieved parties in all departments, the judiciary, the security, even on the streets, the core politicians and all of that. And so that we be able to come together and take, our own fair share of that structure and begin to do this. So at the point when we started, when I saw it, I was like, oh, what is this? So all the people that were working with us across the local government as serving at that time as supervisory councillors and what have you were suspended. And all of them came to me to say, oh, they've suspended us. And I said, what do you guys want to do? They said, no, we're going to resign. We're going to, and all of them went to resign. So they took their official vehicles, were able to manage and give them another vehicle and give them 1 year salary to the end of their tenure. So it made majority of us more lionized to say, you know what, now we can do this, now we can go. So we were able to break that, and when we were ready to move, we moved into PDP. And moving into PDP, the next thing is that we got there. When we got into PDP, we were dragging it with them, and because we came with nothing, but because we have a lot of people that came with us. When it's time for us to go to primaries, okay, I can't see you again. I'm not sure if you're still there. Are you?
I'm here. I'm with you.
When it was time for us to run for primaries, so we were able to bring that numerical strength that we brought from APC to bear, and we were able to win the ticket, for the party. So we won the ticket, and immediately we won the ticket. The same thing I fought where I was coming from, resurrected in PDP again. And when one of our leaders called me and said, okay, Jandor, congratulations, you have won your ticket as the governor. Okay, and the next thing is that you see that my friend's son, Badebo's rival, is going to be your deputy. And I was like, I can't fight a godfather where I was coming from, and I'll come here and be babysitting another godfather. No, this is not what I stand for, sir. This is not going to happen. I was able to, go around it, meet Chief Obasanjo to say, you know what, I have another choice. I need to exercise my constitutional right to pick somebody that I know will add value to my ticket. You understand? And this is what I want to do. But please, to our leader, tell him to withdraw his own choice so that I can bring my choice and hand over to him. And
that brings me to a major question I am going to be asking right now.
No problem. I'm here for you, AY.
Funke Akedele is my colleague, a very, very well known theater practitioner, doing very well in the industry. But sometimes people don't see the connect between, doing politics and being an entertainer on the other side. A lot of people see it as a marriage that doesn't work. So I want to ask, what informed your decision?
Do you know why? Yes, do you know why? It's because the failure of those in office, have conditioned our mind to think governance is rocket science because of their constant failure. So tell me, what are we coming to do in Lagos as governor, as deputy governor? We're coming to run the economy of Lagos. AY, you're a comedian. That's what they will call you, correct? You know how much work you put into, producing a show. You know how you source for fund. If you are not okay economically, you won't be able to turn around that fund. You know how many people you employ with those funds. There is cost on that fund. You do not only pay back the fund, you do not only use the fund to stay afloat, you use the fund to be what you are today. I don't know if you work with people, you contributed to this economy. You understand? I mean, that is what governance is all about. I mean, for you to even act the character that you're not, it shows you have something here. And what we are bringing to the table is to say, you know what, it's about time we need to bring our creativity into running our state. So for me, I am a grassroots politician. You understand? I'm also a businessman, who's able to grow business from nothing to something. Same as Funke Akindele. Both of us had little in terms of, support from the system, but we're able to build our business from the scratch to the enviable status that we have today. And we've been managing it for years. And that is in this same very harsh economy, of Lagos. And going to that choice, first, we have done something that has never been done in the history of this country. That's what Jandor has done by picking Funke Akindele. What is that thing? Every somewhere, you don't even know the pedigree, you don't know the people and all of those things. If I ask you, AY, as popular as Governor Wike is, who is his deputy? So what we've been able to do with this choice is that we've been able to give Lagosians, a breath of fresh air. Our candidacy, like I keep saying, it's a radical departure from the stereotype norm. Now you have a deputy governor that is very popular, that's got a brand. A brand connects with both the cyberspace and the grassroots. Anytime Funke enter market is scatter. I'm sure you know who we are talking about. So, and what I need is somebody who will be able to sit with me and say, Jandor, you see, there are a lot of sufferings at this end. I have been to this area before. I know what it is. I've shot there before. Experience she's already bringing it to the table. Aside from me too, there's no way I never have a cargo in this stage, with this my leg and all of that. So we have, understanding of this state that we want to govern. And like I said, their failure had made all of us to think that governance is rocket science. It's not rocket science. It's just for us to sit to the well-being of the people, using their own resources to see to their own well-being. Where we're coming from, we have to source for resources. In sources for resources, we know what it means to say, you know what, I have to do everything to turn around these resources and put my head down to make sure that these resources must multiply and give people what? Pay salaries, pay taxes, return the loan with the cost, and still do well. This is what it's all about. So Funke Akindele has my choice. She's, aside her being a very popular person, she's somebody who has been investing in Lagos economy for 2 decades. She is a success story in her chosen career, despite the fact that she read law in the university. This is the kind of person we need for Lagos. It's about time we give Lagos that breath of fresh air so that the guys in government, they look at us and they say, we don't have experience. And what I say to them is that it's unfortunate. How can somebody who has been salary earner all his life is telling us, even if it's agbado that I'm selling, I have to go and buy the agbado. If I employ one girl that is selling agbado with me, that girl will just say, whether you make money or you don't make money, I collect my own pay at the end of the day. And say that we that have had cause to be part of this economy with our investment and do all that, don't have experience. Their own experience in the last 24 years, has it resolved Lagos traffic? Has it resolved Lagos flooding? Has it resolved the issue of, collapsed building that we have, which is, so what has it given to us really? So it's about time we do something else. And that is why for us, whatever it is that our brand has achieved today, AY, we have achieved on our own merits. We have achieved on the basis of the amount of work that we have put into this. We're not riding on an accidental wave. No. We've been there. We have a story. We have a path, and we're not deviating from that path. So for us,
talking about you having a story. Sorry to cut you. Talking about you having a story, and also talking about you coming from somewhere. I'm gonna play a video, for you right now, and I will get your reactions to the video afterwards. I'll be right back.
Mm-hmm.
It's the AY Show.
Unique experience. I did that job for 8 years. And part of what helped me was that I was chief of staff with government. I saw it up close. But even then, that wasn't enough. So just following the governor, being a cameraman, and then watching me for 8 years, you think you will not be a governor? You are not ready. Come to our leadership school. You are not yet ready. And that's why you will see their adverts. They are focusing on 51 billion that Lagos is generating.
It's the AY Show.
Now, I'm going to say this. I believe so much that experience counts in anything that you do, in all sectors. So I'm going to agree with the word in line with anybody going to any position having experience. I will agree with that. Now, how do you react to that? That's my first question. Secondly, do you think you are ready? You're ready for Lagos? Do you think you have enough experience? I want you to react to that.
Okay. I think that if you understand English very well, my boss is understand English very well, and I think my boss at that point was beclouded with politics that he wanted to play at that time. He has already said to all of you that I followed him for 8 years. It really does not matter in what capacity. So for you to have followed a governor that was then a performing governor for 8 years, I want to tell my boss, the result of me following you for 8 years is what I'm doing today. Is the understanding of the job that I know today. Even if you say I followed you as a cameraman, apologies to Edilawani, Tunde Kilani, Niyi Babade of this world who have done well with that trade. Okay, it shows that I wasn't just following you for the following sake. I wasn't the only person that followed you. Majority of us followed you, but I was able to stand out, to see, watching you closely. Being part of everything that you do every day is enough experience for me to say, you know what, I can do it as somebody who was coming from nowhere. So I think he has answered that question. He has said it to everybody who cares to listen, that this guy has enough experience because that is a governor who said I followed him for 8 good years. I don't know if you understand. A performing governor for that matter. You understand? So it depends on what they now call experience. Me combining that, let me tell you something. I have opportunity to have experience in public and private sector, and that's what I'm bringing to the table. So I did not only follow him. While I was following him, I was also following Mr. Tunde Fowler of Lagos Internal Revenue Service, because I also want to understand the nitty-gritty of Lagos revenue policy. I also follow Mr. Kiambodi as Accountant General, not as governor, because I also want to know how is it, that the level of this Lagos resilience to the amount of money they are borrowing. I was able to get that, with their fiscal policy that I know. I didn't just follow him. I also followed Mr. Adepaye, the Attorney General, because I also need to understand, how it is to govern the state within the confines of the law. What is that thing you can do on your own in the name of executive order? What is that thing you require the House of Assembly before you can get done? What is that thing that you must pass a law, call people to come out before you can get done? So combining this experience together, I am going to assume office this May 29, 2023. I'm going to be Fashola's governor, and I'll do well than he, because I've learned from his own mistake. I won't repeat them. And things that he has done well, I will improve on them.
All right. Thank you very much. Talking about you saying, holding on to the claim that you have this experience now that he's talking about, and for you to have followed him for 8 years is enough, to stamp any document and say, yes, you have a plan. On that note, we're going to go to our next question. What are your plans for Lagos State? Lagos is big. Lagos is not just one of those states. What are your plans for Lagos State?
Pardon my word, any idiots with the amount of resources that is in Lagos will do well in Lagos. I'm telling you, like I said, the problem of Lagos is this monopoly. If we're able to break this monopoly and allow the wealth of Lagos to work for Lagos, this is not where we're supposed to be. This is not where we're supposed to be. We are celebrating a 2-bus stop rail line in 24 years in Lagos. 2 bus stop from Marina to Mile 2. We have 2 bus stop in between. You understand? That's supposed to be a mass transit rail. Igomu and Orili is the 2 bus stop that I have in between. That's what we are celebrating. When we'll be talking about integrated rail line system at this time. So what we want to do, Jandor want to do, is that first we need to break this monopoly and open up the space. Break the monopoly, and let Lagos. What we hear is Lagos is a wealthy state. We've had that audio enough. We need to see that wealth on the street of Lagos, in the standard of living of Lagos. Okay, let me speak to the industry. I have a plan. So see, I look at this industry, and I've seen that is the only industry, film, music, and visual art industry, the only industry that has had to struggle on its own, and their job are to travel without government restriction. You remember Wizkid, my music travel without visa. I think they need to give that music visa or your film visa, this government would have stifled, the life out of you. Because you do this and you travel like that. And this is supposed to be our cash cow. What are we looking? Our own government is coming from day one. I've said to Funke, I'm going to set aside 10 billion naira for that industry. It's for us to grow. See, something very terrible happened. How can that happen? Our friend, your friend in the industry, Kunle Afolayan, left Lagos, which is the hub of film and industry, to go to Oyo State to go and build film village. As a governor, what am I looking? Why would I sit down and be looking at? Very soon, all these talents will migrate from my economy and go and find out to sit in that place, because the tools they need is in that place. My first year in office, I've told anybody who cares to listen, I'll provide line, I'll provide support. We have to make that Oyo Kunle stuff a bad market. I've told him, Kunle, that market will remain here in Lagos. That is what should be the thinking of anybody who is governing an economy like Lagos. What I'm saying is that what we need to do is to break the monopoly. If we're able to break the monopoly and open up the space, Lagos will do well. So our is to come and best a Lagos that is wealthy in truth, indeed, as against the current one that is only a rich state on paper. If you enter Dubai, you don't need anybody in Dubai to tell you this is the bank balance of Dubai. You will see the wealth on the street of UAE. So this is what is about in all sectors of our economy. Look, Ayo, I have gone to everywhere in Lagos. I know the problem of everywhere in Lagos, and I can speak to it. This is what I've been doing for the past 8 years. To say, what, let us have a governor that will understand the state he wants to govern like the back of his hand. I thought this thing is going to be 4 of us or 3 of us as I saw the advert. I would have asked him some questions about some area in Lagos. Say, Mr. Governor, do you know where they call? If I mention those areas, I won't mention it. Now, if I mention it, now they will teach him before we come again. You can't be mentioning it because he doesn't know. You can't govern a state you don't know. Somebody just call you, come and be, and you start there. And I mean, that is why today we are now going everywhere, having handshake in churches, going shopping corn in mall, drinking ice cream up and down. If you have done well in all of those places, you don't even need to be jumping up and about. People would know this governor has done well. Fashola did well in his first term. His second term, the entire Lagosians stood up and gave him 1.5 million votes. That has never been recorded before. Everybody, including the elite. And that is exactly what played out in this Peter Obi's election of February 25th. We have our numbers that we deal with every time as politicians. That number won't change, except we have the elite coming out to say we want to be part of it. That number, I can tell you, in 1999, when was the Bola Tinubu came, the number was around 900,000. In 2003, it was around 800 and something. In 2007, when Fashola came, it was the same 800 to 300 of Abanikoro. In 2011 was the only time the elite joined the process and were able to do 1.5, which means that there are votes of people who should analyze the character that want to be in office and vote for them, aside jumping on a wave or being carried away with mere emotions that won't give us what we need at the end of the day. Come back to 2015 when nobody ran. That figure came down to 800. In 2019, this is even the worst, it came down to 700. So which means that some of need to do differently so that we can achieve different results. So for us, we're coming to best a Lagos that you will enjoy to say, so my government can make provision for a fund with no costs, and I can access that fund, use for my business, and return the fund. You might be thinking that fund is with no cost. You know my cost on that fund that I'm giving to you. My cost as a government on that fund is that if I give you that fund, a lot of people will be engaged. We will give work to some people. There will be 1 or 2 procurement that you are going to do. Some of our young child that will rather sit idle in your studio or in your business when you don't have fun to work with, you get something to do. And by so doing, I am reducing the unemployment rate that I have in the state of Lagos. This is how to do economy and measure. Now, the monopoly problem that I've spoken about is why Sanwo-Olu can't explain why he came into office in 2019 with unemployment rate of 14.6%. And he pumped 10 billion naira into the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund. And today, that unemployment rate has jumped to 37.16%. This is MBS statistic, not my own. I don't know if it shows that that money flew wing, went somewhere else. Because if you have invested that money in our economy, at least it would have reduced the number of that unemployment rate. I mean, the percentage. Okay? And nobody's asking questions. There's this conspiracy of silence in Lagos. Maybe not juju, we don't even know. All of us just keep quiet, don't ask any question, and we look at it like that. So how can you say you pump a money into a scheme and that money further impoverish us? It speaks to something. It speaks to the monopoly we want to bring. If I analyze his budget, his fiscal policy for you between 2019 and this 2023, you would then ask yourself, where has all this money gone to? If you say you budget 812 billion naira, which is your first full fiscal policy in 2020, into Lagos economy, and you are reporting 120% performance AY, you know what it means? 120% performance of that money, and there is nothing appreciable to show for it. In the second year, you budgeted another one, 1.25 trillion, into the Lagos economy. And at the end of the year, you reported 85.7% of that. Again, performance cumulative, both revenue and expenditure, and nothing appreciable to show for this. In the third year, you budgeted 1.57 trillion. Okay, and second quarter of that year, you are reporting 77.9%. Where has this money gone to? So these are the things that we need to ask questions. You have a state.
Maybe I should be the one asking more questions now until you have the power to right now. I think I have a bigger power in this sense. So let me ask the question now. All these lofty ideas, policies, and manifesto that you are giving to us on the AY show is something. It sounds pretty well. It sounds good. And that is also very, very typical of politicians. When they come, they'll say all the things that they want to do. Sometimes when they empower, we lose touch, in them doing all of that put together, which is a major problem. There are a lot of people watching right now. And yes, all the ideas are good. And we also need that enabling environment to carry out all these lofty ideas, put all these policies in place. What are your plans for insecurity in Lagos State?
Okay. Ayo, when you speak about insecurity in Lagos, I will say what we have in the name of insecurity today is the one that is brought upon us by our government. How? We speak of Agbero terrorizing the people on the road. We've seen election. We speak of this tout, creating unrest everywhere. Forgetting that it is our government that empowered these people to be terrorizing us. If you look at them very well, the government has gone further to institutionalize them into their system. And you see them now taking selfie with the government, with the people in corridor of power, and government putting up a defense for everything they did. And I've given an example. We were attacked in Lagos during election of February 25th. They've been attacking us constantly every time we go, to campaign on the street of Lagos. And the man who is the chief security officer of the state hasn't come out to address the state, to condemn in stronger terms this attack, this incessant attack on the opposing camp, on the people of Lagos. It speaks to his culpability. So what will first give us about 60% solution to insecurity is to put a stop to that, because the one that is upon us today, if government wasn't starting and whatever to stop today, it will stop. You know these people very well now. They can fear government. I am telling you, they can't do anything without the backing of the government. If you take the backing of the government of them, they take to their heels. I was born in Mushin, so I understand this whole thing very well. So government needs to be deliberate in securing a state. That's number one. Number two, if you look at general security issue, I said, you see me, I like to copy what is good, but to better it. And I will speak to it if I found something that's good in anybody. When somebody came to office, he did a project, it is called Light Up Lagos. And everywhere was well lit. Combining that to when Fashola was in office, you know, all the loops, all the under bridges in Lagos, this guy reclaimed it, decided to beautify it, and use the same guys that are sleeping and doing also there to manage it. And he was paying them. This is something that we can do to also take these people off, you know, or some of these vices that they found themselves. So government needs to be deliberate if you want to secure a state. That's number two. Number three, in our estate today, all of us, as a result of government failure, we're now hiring OPC and people to help us secure our estate. So what I'm going to do is to call Chief Gani Adams, Are Gani Adams, and say, Maoga, I know you have this command chain on your boys. There is a Motekun, which Lagos has refused to do. Can we use your team, which I'm going to do a Motekun? You see, all these touts, and if they know, say, you get to do AY, they don't go come your house. I don't know if you understand. What we want to do is to secure our state. Because, again, don't forget, this police of a thing, you know, security of a thing, is in the exclusive list of the Constitution, and that is of the federal government. Until somebody like Jandor come on board to start jumping from one court to another, seeking for the true interpretation of true federalism, so that we can have our own state police, we will make do with what we have to secure our state. Number three, I've used this example over and over again. You see, National Union of Road Transport Workers, you know, it's a lawful, you know, union, labor union. It's backed by law. But government of the day decided to use them as negative tools. Whether you like it or not, that sector of your economy also need their own union to oversee their affairs, but not at the expense of the generality of Lagosians. Not to be on the road and be constituting nuisance. Remain in your motor park and do whatever you need to do there as prescribed by the law, and don't come outside to create, you know, nuisance on my road. Now, the government of the day has used these people as a negative tool, and I said, yes, if they are still within the confines of the law and put them where they belong, the man who is heading a particular garage in Ojota, for instance, and making money in that garage, what I will say to that man is, say, Oga, any day I see that they rob any of my citizens on this your corridor between Ojota and Ketu, that is the day I'm going to collect the garage from you and give it to another person. That man will do everything humanly possible to secure that corridor if they are not the one robbing people there. I don't know if you understand. By the time you start tying that means of livelihood into that responsibility, you get it done. Number two is that ultimately we then come up by deploying the wealth of Lagos to work for Lagos in terms of security by making sure that everywhere or flashpoint that we know to be black spots, we now put a CCTV camera into those places. A camera that anybody can log on to say, I want to know what is happening in Abule Egba on that bridge. And everybody can log on to say, I want to see what is happening in Abule. So if you hear anything from anywhere, even the citizen can help you to track it, to say, they've moved, they're now in my street, they've moved, they're now here, this is where they're going. Before you know it, we will secure this thing. With, you know, everything that I've said now, I've not procured gun, I've not procured vehicle. What they do is to use our money to say they are buying guns, they are buying vehicles every month. They like procurement because that's the way they are going to have a kickback. We will bring up policy that will quickly change some of these narratives without spending fortune.
And you know, the youths at this point in time, we are all beginning to see the significance in line with numbers, in line with participation in politics, especially for the last presidential elections. And of course, that is going to be a major playground. Come on Saturday in Lagos State, we're going to have youths come out in numbers. Now, the only reason they want to do that is knowing fully well that when they put the right people in power, they will gain that support that will take them from their present situation to, a better place. So what are your plans for the youths in Lagos?
Okay, so let's start from where you pick it from, AY. You've spoken about what played out February 25th election. I think it was a good start. When you start something, we don't expect that you master it at once, even though all of us came all out to pick that personality, not minding the political platform, and decide to say we are giving this man our vote. But because of that first start, I think we would have learned from few mistakes that we made in between in taking a decision in the next phase. What was the mistake that we made at first? Is that yes, there is that man that we like. Of course, forgetting that it's not only that man that is running. We would have also assessed other people on their own merit before we can vote. If not, a Banky W would have lost to whoever that he lost to. Now, the people of Itiesa Federal Constituency now, they've given their mandate to somebody who never envisioned to be enough. He didn't. I'm not sure he knew himself that he was running on that election until it was announced. I don't know if you understand. So that is a mistake that we must learn from, that we must not repeat because of these, emotions to say, oh, okay, we are doing it. No, because if we make that mistake, we're going to leave it for another 4 years. So now, we picked up Peter Obi. Let me use that word. Everybody picked up Peter Obi, not minding the fact that it was coming from PDP in the same year. But we have collapsed party affiliations and we have looked at that personality to say, okay, we'll go with this one among other things. The same manner we need to deploy in this coming election. Mere emotions will not do it. Look at each candidate on their merits. Look at their trajectory. Look at their story. Look at the level of their readiness to do this. I mean, it's not enough to just want to say, I'm riding on a wave. And all of us are jumping on a wave. We should learn from where we're coming from so that the next decision will take a deep breath, will take a critical analysis of everybody and being able to take a decision to say this is where we're going. Now, having done that, that's why I said it's a good start point, February 25th. And mistakes will come from the start point. We have learned from that. I hope we've learned from that and not repeat that in the coming one. So having said that, now, in our own policy, I have categorized Lagos youth into 4 categories, and I'll break it down. Because whether you like it or not, the first category, let me use the first category, is a team that I belong to growing up. And what is that team? After school hours, I will have to go and play soccer. My mother will send me a message, I'll have to go and play soccer. I will come back, she will beat me like she will kill me, and I'll be asking, are you sure this woman was the one that gave birth to me? In Lagos today, there are some of our brothers and sisters in that category. So as a government, this set of youth, what I'm going to do first thing is that when we get to office, I will make sure we organize an interlocal government football competition. If we do that, we have all the 20 local government coming on board to play. The first 3 teams that make it, and in between other teams, those that are best players and what have it that can see skills, their government will send them to academy abroad. So, Ayo, there's no how I will send all of them to academy abroad. I will not have at least 10 of them returning to this country with 8 clubs saying we have signed them on. And if they come back to this economy, you know what they will do? They will return to the hood, because I will encourage them to do that, and take up that sponsorship from where I start. And majority of them will be the one, flying people down and bringing them back. And these guys that would have gone, okay, would have to come back and see Ikechi in sister, or Ngozi in sister, that will have to send to school. because they brought fortune into their family and they will have something to this economy. That is one side. There's another youth of ours, those ones, they don't know how to play ball. In fact, they don't even know how to do anything. That's the one we call Omadubo. Anyway, Jandor goes to campaign, they'll come out and say, Omadubo, and as if I have to pay tolls before I can go. They say, you know them now when you go to film. Say, Omadubo, there is no how you are not going to cater for them because you're not doing that. You're sitting on a keg of gunpowder. So for us, when we come, what I'm going to do is that in any company, either you are Julius Berger or you are whatever name, that I'm given any public works to do, wherever that street. For condition to do this is to tell you know what, you have to give me between 25 and 30% of those that are going to work on that project on this street where you are doing this project, because I want them to go to stake. I am sure they will come up and tell me that they don't have required skills to do our job. We want to do those. They don't have the required skills. I will tell them, you don't require any skills to supply block. You don't require a skill to supply cement or to supply this thing. And there is a procurement law which says that if this thing is sold for 10 naira, you can mark it up to 30%. You understand? Give it to them, they know where to go and carry it. If they carry that cement and they know they are going to pick XYZ amount of money on it, in the evening they would have started, they go to sleep. We have taken care of that one. And we have some who went to school and they came back from school. There is no job to do. And so that is why we are building technovation hubs in 5 divisions of Lagos, in Ikeja, in Badagry, we are building in Ekwe, we are building in Ikorodu. And what I build is, you know what I'm going to do? I will come to Computer Village. This is our Silicon Valley. I'll come there and pick Chinedu, Dayo, Abdul. All of these are brothers that are working in Computer Village, fixing our phones and doing other things. I'll say, you know what, you guys come. I need you to train my people in Ekwe, in Badagry, in this. And when they are done training them, I will give them a startup. If I give them a startup and build what we call co-location, because I'm going to build co-locations in the government where you can come in without tools and work and do this. So everybody wants to repair phone from Ekwe, don't need to come together anymore. From Ekwe, you don't need to come together. By so doing, we are decentralizing development. Traffic will reduce, people will stay where they are, and all of this.
I must say you have a lot to do before you go to number 3 and 4. I will say that time is also not our friend. I know you also have other engagement and things that you have to do. But before we go, definitely we're going to bring in some people who are going to be asking some questions, because this is also an interactive session. It's not just about AY and Jandor. So we're going to take an entertainment break. When we come back, we'll bring some people to ask some questions before we round up for the night. Thank you.
I see my friend Dino, I hear you. The way you they make mouth, and they see all these guys when they come, they hear you, don't they tell you the truth. Me, I know they fear. You talk, you die. You not talk, you die. So me, I they talk to die. The way you go down the chat, Mr. Speaker, blah, 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 blah. They never even lock you up before you jump, come off from motor.
KY Life, Legendary Edition, on Easter Sunday, April 9th.
My senator, I want to ask one question. If on a day's house, on another sick, or another sick, but the day when EFCC just say you are wanted, if they just hold on 2 days, you go say you are sick. Now, wow, but I like him because you know what make me like him? At least 9 days closer to youth for the house. 9 days closer to youth, and that is why when I see them when they shout, they do like this. Yes, 9 days closer to youth. And for me, it's na dream. Say one day we'll have youth that will take this country to the next level. See the Consul General of America, he sit down here. Nobody there. That is American Consul General. That is a man that can give you American visa. Poor, you are there. And comedians, they come, they talk, make the man they hear. Say if you want run. If you want run. What are you telling these people? That Nigerians want to leave? Oh, God, sir, Consular, I am not leaving this country. This is my country. I love this country and I will die in this country. All of them want like to them look like say American and one kind thing. No, Senator, let me tell you something. The problem we have is that we need to rebrand Nigeria. What kind of rubbish is that? They need to rebrand Nigeria. Let us respect ourselves. Senator, when you travel, check the British passport. The color is red. 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 Senator, red. Not green, not green. Go to America, the color is blue. Blue. Check country they do well. Blue. Country where they're powerful. Red. Check country where we say that they fight, that they kill people there. Terrorists. Green. Iraq. Green. Pakistan. Green. Nigeria. Green. We need to change the level of how we reason. Look at the British passport. I love it. The color is red. If I won't call my life next time, I pray. Oh, because of the shot, I don't want to leave the country because the American ambassador is here. No! I pray next time, if I want to call this my life, I will always tell people Nigeria still remains the best country in the world, and I will come back as a Nigerian.
KY Life, Legendary Edition, on Easter Sunday, April 9th.
For table reservations, call 0704-921-5448. Packaged by Lanre Maku Events.
Yes, we're still with Abdul Aziz Olajide Adediro, and of course, he's been doing justice to most of the questions asked. And right now, we have joining us Yinka Adeshino. Yinka Adeshino, I believe you have one or two questions to ask. Yinka, hello, Yinka.
Yes, sir. Hello, sir. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we
Very
can.
well. Loud and clear.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So I joined from Philadelphia in the U.S. So my question is to the incoming governor. Yeah, because I won't lie to you. I like your swag, and there is this rumor going on that the tax collection in Lagos State is being pocketed by some set of people or probably some set of companies. So I just want to know that, everything you've analyzed all through has to do with money. We know probably maybe 4 billion comes from the federal government every month, but Lagos is rich. Actually, I'm not Miyoshameko, I'm from Ibadan. But whatever happens in Igbo, it will happen to them in Ede. So because there is no way for us to return home without passing through Lagos. So I just want to know, tax, how is your government going to approach the issue of tax? Is there an existing agreement between the government and the company, the said company? And also, we know PDP also have a big godfather. How are you going not to listen to them so that we don't have the issue of like Adeduku in Ibadan? Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, my brother. Let me first address the issue of godfather. We have gone past that at this level. With my candidacy, there is nothing like godfather. Like I said, this is what I thought where I was coming from. And when one decided to surface in PDP, I was able to say it won't work. Because I had to exercise my constitutional rights as the candidate of the party to pick whoever I want to pick within or without, which I did. The supposed godfather wanted something else, and I said, no, it's not going to work. So that shows that in my candidacy, Lagos will have an independent governor, the one that will be accountable solely to them and not any godfather. And speaking to taxation, I know where you're driving at. Okay, of course, there is this company in Lagos, which is legally right by the way of corporation, but morally wrong with the activity. And it's so sad that this company draws revenue from government of Lagos to the tune of about 10% of every revenue, whatever percent that they have raised it to now. This is when we get there, we'll discover. Because everything in this government is shielded with secrecy. And without doing anything. When they knock at your shop, AY, the people that knock at your shop are staff of Lagos Internal Revenue Service. The letter you receive from them. These staff that are going everywhere to work and source for this money, they are still being paid with old minimum wage. Just about 2 months ago, thereabout, there was an issue because this government now is desperate. He wants to come back at all costs. He had to put up a letter to say he has approved their minimum wage that they are now ready to pay. Spontaneously, the Senior Staff Association wrote them to say, no, you never had any meeting with us. You never approved anything. So he had to do that because we have these brothers and sisters of ours working with Lagos Internal Revenue Service, going everywhere, to collect this revenue. And they are still not being paid the way they should be paid. Yet we're giving a certain company who does nothing, over 9 billion or 10 billion naira on a monthly basis. Let me tell you something. The money that we're giving to that company, that money can pay the 61,413 civil servants, active civil servants that we have in Lagos today, because their take home is just 10.9 billion with the current 35,000 naira minimum wage, which I'm going to change when I come, because if Edo State can pay 40,000, why is Lagos paying 35,000? So I'm going to increase that to 60,000. It will be my first executive order to sign in office to increase the minimum wage of civil servants to 60,000. And having done that, so that if you ask me where I'm going to see the money, all I need to do is to stop the man that is taking 9 billion to say, you know what, you don't cast. You don't cast. So yeah, let's go. And I plow back that money into servicing my staff. We have people that in Lagos pension, just 305 billion or 5 million or thereabout is what we pay for, and yet we still owing them money. So our capital receipts and federal transfer allocations alone can take care of this thing without even talking about our IGR that's over 50-something billion. You see my Oga when he was addressing that video where he called me a cameraman. He said, because we did a promo, he said, okay, it was Shetima that came to Lagos and said, Lagos is earning 51 billion monthly. And we decided to show the Lagos that is earning 51 billion. So my Oga decided to pick it up and say, oh, we are only thinking of the money. We are not thinking of the influx of people into Lagos, that the money, that is my Oga trying to find an excuse for the failure of this government in the last 24 years. It doesn't speak to what's on the ground. But what we're saying is that we look at that and make sure we have the hens that is laying the golden eggs. We suffer them. And one man is taking free money on a monthly basis. We're going to reverse it. And I've spoken to all my brothers and sisters in Lagos Internal Revenue Service. When I come, I won't just put you on a minimum wage of the same level with civil servant. No, because you are holding a very sensitive assignment for us. You are drawing our revenue. If you're not well taken care of, something will happen to that revenue. So I'm going to make sure there is a special consideration for this office, including all the essential services like health, so that we begin to address the brain drain that we have in all of this sector. Lagos should be a place where people would like to come and work, not where people will say they are taking a flight to go. Everything is collapsing AY. In Lagos, you have companies that are taking flights, not to Ghana, to Ogun State. Nestle is one of them. They left here for Ogun State. If you look at it, this is where the market is. How can you leave where the market is and go to somewhere else, produce, and then bring it back to where the market is? It shows that they've done their calculations and see that the amount of multiple taxation and harassment and lack of ease of doing business that is here, it pays them to Kukuma go to even Anambra, produce it, and then bring it back to Lagos and come and sell. These are the things that we need to bring back so that we'll be able to grow the economy. If we're able to grow the economy, we have more business in our loop, we have more people paying taxes. We'll stop running after 10 people to collect the money of 200 people. And I mean, that is what we need to do. Just grow the economy. Use Lagos wealth to grow the economy. Today, we have a poverty rate that has grown between 2019 and now from 4.5 to 8.5. It shows that all the budgetary and fiscal policy that this guy has said he has done, that is amount to over 4 trillion in 3 years, has not done anything. So if the money is in this economy,
I know you can go all and on and on. You have all the time in the world, to express yourself, to, tell Lagosians the plans that you have for them. But we are also running out of time. We have somebody who's going to be asking, I'm going to take one or two more questions then before we round up, but he calls himself Apostle Honorable. Apostle Honorable, you're with us right now. Can you hear me?
God bless you, sir.
Well
God
done.
bless you, sir.
Okay.
I'm happy to see you for my first time being with you today. I'm really happy. God bless you. Thank you for what you did in Edo State. I'm from Edo State. What I saw. Oh, yes, Kakabo. Thank you very much, sir. I greet you, sir. Thank you very much. The Oga Gidigba Wesabi. Thank you very much.
Question for Jandor?
Yes, sir. First of all, good evening, sir.
Good evening,
my incoming governor.
Thank you, sir.
Because I saw the oil of our Oga Peter Obi in your head. My father always say, no man who teach you music, now you take your voice resemble. Because when I was just looking, when I saw Oga, when I say today, I must wait. Even the day we interview our father, Peter Obi, I know how he responds. Even the reaction of our mother when they for worry, I so love that woman. Sir, please, it is because of the hardship we all left our country to this place. And we have been dying in the Mediterranean Sea, which nobody cares about it. We have talent in our hand, but there is nothing to showcase it. There is no light to showcase it. And there is problem everywhere. How can you help us to fix us? Even going to abroad will become a distress or a disrespectful to abroad. We all want to come back home, but we are not seeing anything good that will make us come back home. Please, can you just tell us a little thing, at least that will give us joy when we come back to Lagos?
Over to you, Jandor.
Okay, thank you very much. I know Lagos is a gateway to every other state in Nigeria. Okay, and when you come to Lagos, first thing I'm going to do is see all those harassments you see when you arrive Lagos and all of that. Even though you want to say some of these things are within the confines of the federal government, as the landlord of the airport, let me go start from there. I have a responsibility, since the airport is in my state, to sit with the management of FAN or the Ministry of Aviation and say, you know what, I know you have your way, but I mean, whatever happens there, I take responsibility as the chief executive officer. Let's even start from there to say, okay, because when you come to Nigeria now, what you see is not welcoming. Majority of you want to return back. And that is Lagos. Okay. So we start from there and to first give you an experience of a breath of fresh air from your arrival. By even organizing and tell FAN, FAN, as the governor of Lagos State, I'm not doing you a favor. I can support you in making sure I give adequate training to your manpower, and say, you know what, maybe when you get to Port Harcourt, you can behave anyhow, but this Lagos, we have a standard. Let's start from there. And when you come out of the airport, we read the entire place, of the ones that want to say, those threats that you will be looking right and left, whether somebody is going to follow you or something like that.
Yes.
And that's number one. Then coming to Lagos economy. So for me, I've taken my time to study some economies and I see how they make money and ask myself, why didn't our government think like this? If you want to come and invest in this economy, there are ways to woo you and lure you into coming to this economy. You know, Dubai, they get sense very well. They will tell you,
yes,
it's a visa-free state. And all of us is just going there to pick Dubai visa and jump on the plane and go to Dubai. You know, they know that there is no how they will give you that opportunity to come in without you dropping at least $1,000 in the economy, because you are going to sleep in their hotel, you are going to ride in their taxi, the express start from the airport, you are going to eat in their eatery. In fact, they will even carry you go look sand. You know, you go to pay to go and play inside sand and all of that. So I have seen Lagos sports, even though it is not in my district. I've seen Lagos sports and say, why do we charge a whole lot for somebody to come and invest in this economy? Can you just open it up, let them come? When they come, do you know what they're going to give to you? They're going to pay double in the long run, because one, if we're able to give you, for instance, to say, okay, you have a $500 million you want to come and invest in Lagos economy, and nobody is telling you your container, we must kill it before you enter, you must pay through your nose, you must do this. Say, oh, let him come in. Because the moment you come in, you're going to give employment to my people. If you give employment to my people, I'm going to generate revenue from them in the name of PE. Even you that have come to set up business in my economy, there are taxes that you are going to pay. But if you have locked our door from the airport and people see that it's difficult for us to come in, there's no how the economy will grow. Today, if you look at Lagos today, it's unfortunate that we have a government that has not would corporate entities from abroad and come and be investing, and will be seen on the road to say, okay, this is an FDI project, this is this. Nothing of that is coming up. Why? Why is because somebody wants equity and stake in every business that is coming into Lagos. We have to break that monopoly. I have said it, we have 180-kilometer waterfront coastline just lying fallow. It costs me nothing to go somewhere and bring a company that will come and give us a Miami-like waterfront. If we have that, everybody wants to come to Nigeria, because you would have created what they call mines in tourism, you know, where you can have meetings, international exhibitions, conference centers that want to make people to come and say, oh, I'm going to Nigeria because of the waterfront. And this will not cost us nothing. Look at Lekki Deep Seaport. Lekki Deep Seaport, it's a federal government project, you know, primarily. And federal government brought in, you know, a private organization to come do it. And Toleram said, I'm going to finance it. Lagos State government has 20% as just a landlord. And it took how many months to do? The Lagos Blue Line that was supposed to be 27 kilometers, they've been building it for 13 good years. And nothing is happening. So if I give if I give an opportunity to, you know, a foreign company to say, you know what, come and give me integrated rail lines. Buhari government under Amechi, they built how many rail lines under 6 years or 4 years? They built Lagos Ibadan. They built Abuja, Kaduna, and going to Kano. Under that regime, 13 years, so these people that say they've got experience, they've not been able to complete. I even say the thing don't burn self. I don't know, maybe why I know. You see, we need to change all of this. How we can't continue this way. So, my brother, this is what we stand on. This is the kind of government we're bringing for.
Okay, yeah, we have Sammy Cole and Jim Soko. These two, they've been online waiting to. So, Sammy, I'll start off with you. You're going to ask your question real quick because we're rounding up now.
Okay, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Sammy.
Your Excellency, sir. Our incoming governor, sir.
Thank you, Sammy.
So, I am a person with intellectual disability. So what I want to ask is that, what are the benefits of intellectual disability? When you enter as a governor, what are the benefits we are going to benefit from you?
Thank you, Sammy. If you have had opportunity to have glanced through our blueprint, you would have seen that for the first time in the history of this country, my government is going to create a ministry for the people with disability. The ministry that will be one of them we share it as commissioner. the ministry that would ensure that before I can sign any document in the name of building plan for anybody, you must have shown in that plan that you have how people with disability can access that public infrastructure, private infrastructure. Without that, I will not approve it. A ministry that will have one of you, that will have you working in that, so that we can include you in our government. It's in my blueprint. I'm not saying this because if you stumble on my blueprint, you will see I'm creating two different ministries to what we have now: Ministry of People with Disability and Ministry of Children Affairs, so that we begin to take care of our children from infant, from the cradles, to make sure their health, their education is given special attention to. Okay, this is what we're doing differently. We have that in our blueprint to say these special people in our midst have to be treated specially in public transportation. And we are working closely. We have in our team somebody by name Barnabas, who is aiding the people with disability. We sit down, we meet together. They will tell us their own peculiarity in whatever we want to do. We listen to them. So this is what we're doing. For the first time, we are creating that ministry. That will be my second executive order that I'm signing as a governor of Lagos State. So you are part of this.
Soko, you're
okay,
next.
yeah, thank you. Good evening. Good evening, AY. Good evening, Jandor, the man that wants to open the door for possibilities for Lagos. I have about 3 questions, but I'll shorten it. Yeah, so I'd like to know your plan on human capital development, HCD, right? Human capital development is very vital in developing any economy. And we know Lagos is the mega city of Nigeria. So what's your plan for those students who cannot afford education? What's your plan? I know in Germany they do free education, free primary education. A lot of students, you see them on the road trying to wash people's car with bottled water. There are a lot of students that are meant to advance, but they can't afford this education, this basic education. So what's your plan for affordability for basic primary education? That's question 1. Question 2, what are your technological advancement plans for Lagos in lines of sorry? Yeah, that's question 2. That's technological advancement plan. Yeah.
Okay,
Your
so that's the third
technological
one.
advancement. Okay, your technological advancement plans for Lagos in terms of transport system, the railways, in terms of advancing to meet up the global standards. Yeah, I'll stop there. Thank you.
Jim Soko, very, very impressive questions, I must say. Jandor, over to you. We're going to be rounding up with that.
Okay. First, let's speak to human capital development. If you heard me when I was speaking about provisions for youth the other time, you see that across that line, I spoke to how we can develop talent and whatever that we have. I mean, that's just by the way. You see, I have an experience, as somebody who was in the service of government of Lagos State. And what I see is that every fiscal policy or every budget cycle, we have some of this, okay? And at the end of the day, what you see is that some cadre is the one that you see that we send to training, I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, and all of that. And it's now basically on extra code basis, not because they really want to develop themselves. I don't know if you understand. And that's
I get it.
So that when we come in, we're going to audit the Ministry of Establishment and Training. You see, Lagos, this is what I'm going to do differently. Everybody comes from everywhere in Nigeria to come to Lagos and say they are learning what they are doing in Lagos. I don't know if you understand.
Yeah.
In my own time, I will then ensure that our own people in Lagos then have to take trip to these developed countries. In civil service, you have the permanent secretaries, the directors.
Yeah.
When they go on this training, they go just for this. When they come back, there's nothing to transfer in terms of knowledge because they've gone to do nothing, just to take the extra. So we now begin to look at those that are ready to do the work. and send them on a training that can bring back and transfer that knowledge, because you need to see that thing work in your economy. If not, you're just wasting money. So I've seen these locals. So we're going to audit that ministry and ensure that what we have going forward is to make sure that when people come here to train us, it shouldn't be Obo or Don or Bongo or Bogompe. It should be you to learn from, an economy that is thriving, then bring big back here and let us have what you see. So we're looking at that and we're doing a whole lot on that. And for education, we have a problem that is facing us. And when I look at the problem of Lagos, what I do is, how do I quickly ameliorate the suffering of the people in all the sector of the economy before we go into long-term planning? Today, we have over 2 million out-of-school children. Sammy, these 2 million out-of-school children, they've been there. And whenever you Google Lagos, that's what you see. It's about time that we start thinking how to resolve this. So this is what Jandor is doing differently. When I come into office as governor of Lagos State, I will first call a meeting of all the private school owners in Lagos. We have about 5,000 of them that are registered. We have 18,000 in total, and some that are not registered. The 5,000 that are registered, I'll call them into a meeting. I'll say, you know what? I have my children, who are out of school. I want to see how much of them I can spread across your school. I'm going to give them uniforms. I'm going to give them learning aids. I'm going to give them whatever they need in exchange for tax incentives or holiday, as the case may be. By so doing, I would have unbundled some of them into these private schools. Okay? Then we'll take it further. I will engage churches and mosques and say, hey, let's talk. You have a space that you are not using between school hours, between 8 o'clock in the morning and 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I have some of our children that are out of school. They know where to take them in, because we can't build that infrastructure in one day to quickly take them in. So can I put them here? I'll get them tutors that will take care of them between the school hours and give them everything that they need. This is something that we need to do as a government. Before we do that in the next 3 to 6 months, you will see that tag they give us, over 2 million out of school children, will reduce drastically without spending fortune. We will then do that pending where we then embark on rigorous infrastructural renewal across the state in terms of classrooms and the likes. So this is what we're going to do and address education. Aside that, we're now looking at the curriculum, because we now found a situation in our hands now. After our sisters and brothers have gone to university, education, and they come back, you see them now learning fashion designing. Some of them want to do. Can we have a curriculum to have this built in it while they're in school? They can take this vocational training so that when they come out from school, they don't even need to waste additional 2 years go and learning anything anymore. They can quickly say, okay, I'm deciding what to do. I'm going into my vocation street, or I am looking for a white collar job. And if we're able to have them going into that vocation, they will also assist us in employing people. And that's why government can look at them and say, okay, we can give you a startup and let's see how much people you can employ with that. Now, you ask me, what is our tech advancement for plan for Lagos in terms of transportation and all that? Okay, I think I've spoken about this in my last question. Transportation in Lagos, if we get it right, we would have addressed traffic issue, we would have addressed the manner loss, we would have addressed so many things that is happening to our economy. And for me, I'm a student of identify the problem. Where are the problems? And profile solutions to it. And in Lagos, I've gone around Lagos, I know we have 12 traffic flash points that we quickly need to work on. These flash points, not all of them require infrastructural renewal. Some of them, what they require is to bring up a policy that will make people sit tight in Lagos. I can speak to some axis of Lagos where you don't even need to do anything. All you need to do is to enforce the law. Take the agbero off the road. Take your last mile that is supposed to be ameliorating sufferings of the people that are adding to it. Put them to where they belong and let them do what they need to do. If you do that, we have free flow. Some portals that you have, public works are to be up and doing to ensure that the moment you see it, go and fix it. If you're able to solve that, we'll solve some other area. Some requires, another policy. I've given an example of Third Mainland Bridge. Everybody faces island from mainland in the morning. And if you go, you see a whole lot of vehicular movement on the Third Mainland Bridge. And at the tail end of the Third Mainland Bridge, if you're going into Ikeja, On your right, you see an expanse of land in Owodoshoki. And I've looked at this. I said, look, all I need to do is to call Mr. AY. Mr. AY, you see this land? You this to build a park and ride here. Build a park and ride. I will dredge the water for you all the way. Build a park and ride here that people coming to the third mainland bridge will do a policy. If you are the only one in your car driving, you will not climb third mainland bridge. You will go and park and enter a ferry that will take you to the central business district of the island. The same ferry company, the same company that I give that thing, can also do an hailing vehicle at the jetty on the other side, who will now give you a ride to take you to your destination. We will achieve one thing. We will reduce vehicular movement of third mainland bridge, which will reduce traffic. We will also reduce the number of vehicles that we have on the CBD. You know, from your home, you can decide to think. So let's just begin to profile solution. And I've spoken about integrated rail line system, the one that will come from Ikorodu, intersect in Ikeja. If you are going to Alagba, they will follow your own way. If you are going to Lagos Island, that is what we should be speaking to now in Lagos State. So rather than saying you are doing green line, you are doing yellow line that we have not seen, and you start painting every year yellow, saying you want to rise our poverty in 2023, God will not allow you. It's about time we bring fresh ideas and new thinking into governance. And we can do this. In terms of technology, don't forget, I spoke to something when we were talking about insecurity. I said, look, in Lagos, you should be able to have a camera everywhere. And a camera that everybody can log on to say, I want to see what is happening. That should be the same way we check Google now. Google will tell you, Third Mainland Bridge is blocked. It's not rocket science. And I want to see what is happening in Abuleba. I learned something, there is robbery somewhere. Everybody can log in the moment we have a radio announcement. And we begin to have a Lagos.
Jandor, I want to thank you very, very much for accepting my open invitation. I was very, very impressed to see that you personally put your comment in there to accept this invitation, and also for being the very first person to come on board. Tomorrow, we're going to be having other people come on board as well. But I want to say a very big thank you to you. And of course, Jim Soko, I believe that your questions were answered. And I believe a lot of Nigerians who followed this session would have had a good time, having you talk about your plans for Lagos State. At this point in time, I'm just going to say good luck in advance as you going for that #1 seat in Lagos State. Thank you very much for coming on the AY show, and God bless you real good. Any last word?
Well, I think my last word is to speak to the people of Lagos that we have, before us, different choices. I need you to take a critical analysis of everybody who wants to run. If need be, dig more into the level of their preparedness, understanding of the state they want to govern. And I want to beg our brothers and sisters to say, you know what? Yes, because we are sophisticated enough to be able to take a deep breath and say, before I jump on this, can I look at it very well and do it? So that we don't find ourselves in something that in 4 years we'll be biting our fingers. I heard some people saying they messed up because they didn't know, it will affect Banky W. My own Banky W lost to Peter Obi. He didn't lose to the guy that contested against. And we know why that is. We have our way. We must do everything to have our way. Our way is to be able to get a Lagos that everybody, and to get a governor that will recognize that you see the Igbo people that you have in Lagos. They've brought nothing to the economy than prosperity. If you know the amount of investment, their investment in Alaba International, in Ladipo International, in all the Igbo dominated markets, you know that you need to protect such a people, protect their business, not harassing, not doing this. And the governor that will see everybody and consider them as a crucial part of this place. I've spoken to it. If you call somebody Omoigbo, if you call somebody this thing, it really does not matter. This thing, if it's your constitutional right to run for office, you have 10 years. If you have lived anywhere for 10 years, you can run. I'm sure as Omoigbo, you won't come to my village and say you want to be king in my village. Now, that one will not happen. But your constitutional rights has to be given to you, and you need the governor that will do that. And I want to say this to all of them. This election that is coming on Saturday, come all out. Me, Jandor, I am ready to protect your vote and protect all of you. Let me repeat, we have provided security, both conventional and non-conventional. I'm sure you understand what that means. So that we will be there to protect ourselves and protect our vote. If iron touch iron, one will bend. I know they are threatening, they are doing a whole lot of things. Okay, we'll see on Saturday. Thank you, Ewa.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Well, that has been Jandor on the AY show. And of course, this is a good time to let you know that he did well handling all the questions put together. And come tomorrow, could you invite Governor GRV? Yes, I've seen that. He will be joining us tomorrow on this same show, same time, 6 p.m. The Labour Party flag bearer will be joining us. And of course, we are also waiting to hear from Governor Sanwo-Olu, who will be joining us thereafter. So guys, thank you very much. And I want to use this opportunity to apologize to our people on Instagram. So what we're going to do is to feed everything and put it on Instagram so that you guys can see what I know it's been on Facebook, it's been on YouTube, it's been on YouTube as well. And of course, Instagram is also very important. So, but if we have Facebook, we have YouTube and Twitter, we have done well. So we'll feed all of this to our Instagram page. And I believe that by tomorrow we'll have resolved the issue so that it will be seamless across board. So thank you very much for joining the AY show. Don't forget, AY Live is coming up on Easter Sunday. That is my own consistency. That is my own business. That is the one that I understand is on Easter Sunday, April 9th. And don't forget to come be part of all the glees and razzmatazz. Until I see you tomorrow, same time, with GRV. This is AY signing off. God bless you. Real good.
It's the AY show.
There is only one comedy show that can invade the entire nation.
Let me say, Every time I enter club, men go they look me, they smile. Hey, Abdul, please give me We don't turn you number to abnormal. Make some noise. What's your name? Look well.
One comedy show that parade the movers and shakers of the entertainment industry.
One time, I'ma look at how we made this. Everybody go. Samba. Let's go. No be by force to go Dubai. I've been able to cut the fight. Girl, I love the way you do me, do me, do me, do me, do me, do me.
One of the boys that they wear one shirt, different shorts, not me, kill a back one shirt, huh? Do I look like I will look
One comedy show that satisfies the entertainment yearning of Nigerians.
And it's your turn in. Oh boy! Aziz who they sell it for, not the seller credit? I was only taking a back. E-money, how much? 1 million!
Only one comedy show that entertains even the entertained.
Bring your two-face over here. I I will show you that I didn't mean to hit you to give you a black face. Oh, yes, me. Yes, you will turn me to a black face without a hit.
KY Life, Legendary Edition, on Easter Sunday, April 9th.
For table reservations, call 0704-921-5448.
KY Life, Legendary Edition, on Easter Sunday, April 9th.
Packaged by Lanre Maku Events.